Little Toby, you grabbed my socks and the shoes. Because you want to go for a walk? Is that... You got those socks and shoes, you grabbed them. You want to go for a walk? Here, you gotta get this. Come here. Yeah. This is the best part. Sit down. Sit down. It's the best part. Come here. Put your face in there. Sit down. Put your face. It's hard to do. Look at that face. I got him. I got him. Is a boy there? That's your ears and your eyes. Get your eyes all ready to go. Look at those eyes. It's a good boy. Oh, it's a good boy this morning. He really wants to go for a walk this morning. I'm a good boy. Oh, you got them crazy eye. This is the front door. You ready? 1, 2, 3.
Front door open.
And then there's 2 doors. Oh, I got to figure out a new system and not get beat by that glass door every time I come out of here. How many times you got to take a whap to the face, Toby, before you learn? Obviously, more times. I keep whapping myself. Gosh, you know what I'm saying? Let's turn the camera around. Thanks, Toby. Thanks for the intro. Try not to look as ugly as I do sometimes on camera. You meet me in real life, I look like a normal guy, but in the sunshine, I'm like squinting. Last night, we had, like every once in a while with the little kids, we'll do a karaoke night. Bring out the little tiny karaoke machine, play songs and sing. And towards the end of it, I was showing my oldest the progression of music. Like back from the 80s, like how happy and everything. And then in the 90s, it started getting a little more serious. Then in the 2000s, it's getting a little more electronic. 2010s, satanic. Now 2020, just full out evil. And she's only 7 years old and she could see it. Like, wow, so different than the music. And then I went, now let's go back in time. And we went from the 80s to the 70s to the 60s to the 50s to the 40s to the 30s. It's like Jim Gaffigan says, like, you heard that song, Mary Had a Little Lamb? That song is amazing. It's the song of our generation. Mary Had a Little Lamb. Oh my goodness. You go all the way back and the songs are like, probably dee doo 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 dee dee bee bee doo, to where now it's like, yeah, but evil and bad. This, fuck, I can't even. It's so evil, I can't even turn it on. Now, I know that when I was young, I would have said to my parents, like, you don't get it, you're just old, you don't get it, you know? And then every generation says, it was better back in the day, whippersnapper. But I'm telling you, I showed my 7-year-old the progression of all this music. And you can't deny, I don't know about better and stuff like that, but you can't deny the just massive amount of satanic, evil. It's evil. It's spiritually evil now. Like, we all know what they do. They go out in their little stages and they do like Taylor Swift does, like witchcraft. They're all witches and evil. It's so horribly satanic. I want to throw this curveball out there. When we got to the 60s, I played Bob Dylan, Mr. Tambourine Man. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. Are you jingle, jangle, dingle, dangle, dee? Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, Play a song for me. I won't cry or I won't whisper. La-da-dee. And it's like beautiful. It's intoxicatingly beautiful. It was an old video of Bob Dylan just standing up to a microphone with his little harmonica and just guitar, and he sang, and it was amazing. But guess what? Here's the curveball. Bob Dylan is a self-professed, sold his soul to Satan to get famous and be able to play music. He is the Faustian example. He's the one who sold his soul for Satan's guitar. 100%. It's on tape. Bob Dylan never lied about it. He sold his soul to Satan. And you listen to this, it's like, wow, it's so amazing. And it even stirs in your own heart feelings of bliss and peace. Now, maybe because I'm a born-again Christian, all things are redeemed. So I can enjoy Bob Dylan and not worship Satan. But let's talk about the truth here. I mean, it's all satanic. How crazy is that? Things that we hold dear. The Wizard of Oz. We went all the way back and we listened to Judy Garland sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow Bluebirds fly, and there la ta ta dee da, la ta ta dee da da, dee da dee da dee da dee, and it's magical. It's amazing. It makes you want to cry. You watch it. You think of the olden days. No electricity, just the farm and some. You get to have an egg from a chicken before you kill the chicken and eat some chicken. But guess what? That movie, if you ever look up stuff about Wizard of Oz, I mean, it's like super satanic. And so, letting go of the world is a really tough thing. I mean, I've got all kinds of attachments, man. Rapture is such a breath of fresh air. Jesus will come back and save us from this satanic age. Paul calls it the evil age. We're in. Satan is the prince and the power of the air. All the kingdoms and... Now look, God is in full control. He's allowed it for a reason. He is... If you want to talk harvest model like we did before, yes, God lets the wheat grow with the tare. And he's going to gather all his enemies in one place at one time. And today, yes, last night, whatever it is, the talk of nuclear war and Israel, like telling people, first of all, it's inevitable. How can it not be Israel versus Hezbollah? How could it not? They're shooting rockets into your own country every single day. You're gonna have to fight. And they're said to the world, look, we're going to use weapons that have never been used before. And we will be the pariah of the world. That is exactly what the Bible says would happen. Every single nation will come against Jerusalem. And he's going to gather his enemies all around her. So, Isaiah 17, the fall of Damascus, overnight. With a nuclear bomb. It's inevitable and it's coming. I'm pretty sure that's like the last birth pain. Once that happens, it could be you're you know after that, it's a call for peace and safety. Immediately. There's going to be a nuke dropped on Damascus by Israel, and then a retaliation strike that'll just go on and on and on and destroy northern Israel. That's maybe God is so good that's why that whole place is vacated. And then Antichrist rises up for peace and safety. So the rapture could simultaneously happen at Isaiah 17. Got to look into that. Let's see if we can find if there's a rapture clue in that chapter. But nevertheless, these are the birth pains. And we've all felt that the water breaking, the last one, is when World War III begins. And it's a simultaneous. Every time that there's a nuclear weapon fired up, there's 1 million UFOs. Every time that they have these tests, nuclear, you go find out you go to Steve Quayle, Timothy Alberino, the guys who like know military contacts. UFO sightings go off like crazy when they run on these nuclear weapon testings. So that makes sense to me. It's all simultaneous. So I think the very last birth pain will be Isaiah 17. That's when the water breaks. Now, why didn't the water break when the first nuclear bombs went off? Well, it did. That ended World War II, and immediately the League of Nations and all those, which, you know, who cares if they're satanic? God uses it. Leaders drafted up and developed the state of Israel, man. It's Haim, as the ex used to say. Man, Walter, what does that have to do with Vietnam, man? What the is that supposed to mean, Walter? State of Israel. If you will it, there is no dream. Yeah, man, but what are we going to do about my car, man? I don't know. She's going to, you know, she kidnapped herself, man. Anyway, it's Lebowski. I can do the whole thing sometimes. Every single voice, too. 20 grand, man. Yeah, and they do the beeper, you know. But if they call during league play, then, you know, so if that's the last, why the birth pain created the nation of Israel the first time, and the nukes. We got a car. I always don't like walking behind cars. Nukes will be the birth pain of the rapture of the church. That's what I think. So, could happen pretty soon. Yeah, whatever. It's hard. It's hard. You got a lot of like all this love for the world and things you want to do and stuff that you like. And then you go look at it and go, geez Louise. Everybody had already sold their soul to Satan at that point. My favorite music band of all time is Whiteheart, Christian rock band, Whiteheart. They got like 12 albums. And I am in love with every single song. I've loved Whiteheart since I was a little kid. Maybe I'm gonna rock some Whiteheart right now and listen to some music I know is dedicated to God, right? But I'm not a legalist. If you're in the blood of Christ, like Paul says, we don't live by do not taste, do not touch, do not watch. We live in the liberty of Christ, and all things are permissible for me. Not all things are beneficial, huh? We know that. Try having too many Dr. Peppers in one night. Eat 15 candy bars in a row. You're gonna feel sick. But all things are permissible for you. It's just not all things are beneficial, okay? However, I'm gonna go rock some White Heart and then read Isaiah 17 and see if there's a rapture verse in there. Anybody who finds one, comment ASAP.